Greetings, Doom fans, and welcome to another edition of the Collapse Morning Wake Up Call here on the Doomstead Diner. And I might look like death warmed over, and that's because that's the way I feel, okay? I've had a rough couple of weeks, folks, and I haven't done a Collapse Morning update in a while. A lot of other things to put up, video-wise and writing-wise and all the rest, and I haven't had that much energy to do this sort of stuff. But this was the week in Doom that was. If this wasn't shit hits the fan week on a political level for the Anglo-American Empire, then I don't know what is or was. Both sides of the pond are in the midst of Kabuki theater that is simply not to be believed. I'm going to start across the pond over in jolly old England, where today the British Parliament sat and debated once again Brexit. And this time, up for debate, was Boris Johnson's newest deal with the EU to have a deal Brexit rather than a no-deal Brexit. Okay? However, the deal is about as bad as the one that was voted on 3 times that Theresa May put forth, and it was essentially voted down 320 to 303 or something like that in the Parliament. And Bojo is supposedly bound to ask for an extension now. However, in the late breaking news, he's still promising to bolt out of the EU on October 31st, Halloween. There have been demonstrations in the streets. It looks like the sentiment overall is more towards remaining in the EU than in Brexiting now. And so the Labour Party and others, the Scottish National Party and so forth, want to hold another referendum, and they're probably going to, at some point, do a vote of no confidence for Bojo, and then new elections, and yada, yada, yada. The bottom line is that, it's the Hotel California, right? You can check out, but you can never leave. And there is no solution to the problems that they have, not one that everybody can agree on, for sure. And so they are very fractured in their politics, and, it's rapidly going downhill for the UK. They're going to be in the toilet here fairly soon. One of the big issues is that of manufacturing and the transport of goods across borders. That's what the Irish backstop is all about, because there's a border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. And then there's a thing called the Good Friday Agreement, and that allows for free transfer across the border, no border checks, etc., etc. And that will demand a border between Northern Ireland and the rest of Ireland if there is a Brexit split. And nobody's going to be happy about that. Excuse me. Like I said, I am a little under the weather here. So, all right, that's catching up on Brexit. It's a great show. I watched a good portion of the parliamentary debate today, and it's way more raucous and entertaining than the congressional debates in general are. And fun to watch, at least for a little while. I mean, I got tired of it after, 30 minutes or so. But at any rate, let's move back this way to an even bigger and more bizarre Kabuki theater here in the FS of A. And that is the ongoing clusterfuck, meltdown, collapse of Donald Dietrich Trumpovetsky and his staff of clowns. More and more revelations come out every day about the malfeasance and incredible brazen illegality of things that he did with respect to Ukraine, and then he has pissed off even his own party members with his actions in Syria, withdrawing the troops. And on top of all that, he's got his personal lawyer, Rudolph, the red-faced mayor, Giuliani, who is currently MIA for the last couple of days, and I have speculated that he's wearing cement overshoes at this time at the bottom of the East River, because he is a real smoking gun, okay? And there are so many trails leading to Giuliani and Giuliani leading to Trump that if they get his hands on him and throw him in the pokey, well, somebody's going to sing, and they're already singing. I mean, his minions are singing about him. But he's going to try to save his own ass. Trumpovetsky is going to try to CYA, cover his ass, and the show goes on, right? For as long as it can. The big question is whether this leads to impeachment, which seems at this point fairly likely. If not, it's going to happen. But that doesn't mean he gets convicted and thrown out of office. That has to go over to the Senate, okay? And the Senate, of course, is held by the repugnants in majority, and will enough of the repugnant rats jump ship when it comes to the trial to actually convict this motherfucker. And each day a few more of these guys step up to the plate and say, well, this is really not looking too good, and I would like to see an impeachment so that I can consider the issue. In other words, they're not blindly supporting Trumpovetsky anymore. Now, that's not to say that his base of mouth-breathing neo-Nazi morons aren't still supporting him. He's got rallies there, and they're all out there cheering, drain the swamp, yada, yada, yada. Make America great again. And the issue here is that the swamp, the real swamp, is in the White House. I mean, it's hard to believe that there could be more corruption than there is in Congress, but, Trump has raised it by an order of magnitude. If this guy isn't pitched out of office, either through impeachment or in the 2020 vote, then kiss it goodbye, folks, because there is no America left. No sense of decency, no sense of right and wrong. and no ability to comprehend what's really going on here. And, this is collapse in a nutshell. We've always talked on the diner about shit hits the fan day, and the ATM's going down and all that stuff, and that may come. I mean, the Federal Reserve Bank has been injecting 75 to $100 billion worth of liquidity a day into the markets to keep the overnight lending moving, because you're not moving the money around, and somebody somewhere locks up, and then when you have a liquidity lockup, it just daisy chains all the way across. So the Fed is in there pushing the money in and trying to keep things going. But in either case, in either the case of an impeachment or the case of a Brexit, especially a hard Brexit, that could very likely be the economic tipping point. And the stock market is just ready to go, And I don't think I need to remind people who know their economic history. It was on October 24th, 1929, 90 years ago, give or take a few days, that the great stock market crash that led to the Great Depression occurred. And that could be coming. October has always been a very difficult month for the stock market when things are rocky. And you don't get rockier than this. And besides that, there's the GM strike, and there's California just burning up and all the rest of that stuff. We have a nonstop hit parade of collapse issues every day to discuss on the diner. So, I invite you all to join us inside the diner and discuss the final days of industrial civilization. That's all to do. This time, until next time, here on the Collapse Morning Update of the Doomstead Diner. Hasta la collapse of industrial civilization.